Action. On the floor. Airspeed is alive.
Let's go. Bring it off. Bring it off. Bring it off. Rudders. Okay, let's start our right turn.
Clear right.
Clear right. Bring it on around a little steeper. Clear right.
Clear right.
Okay. Yeah, bring the power back a little bit. Get yourself down to 1300 without picking up too much speed. There you go. Good.
RP's on.
Altitude. Flaps first. Helps pitch the nose up. Let it come up because you don't want to lose any altitude. You get to 70. Now then, and you're also inside the intersection here, so you're going to have a pretty short base leg here. Okay, here you go. Start your turn. Don't let it dive during the turn. A little bit of back pressure. Hold that 70 during the turn. There you go. Good. Back pressure in. Roll level. Flaps 2 now because we're short crosswind here, base. Hanford traffic, Cessna turning final 32 Hanford. Okay, bring it on around. Should be about 65 knots now. Good, you're using your feet at least.
Hanford traffic 9 Kilo Charlie, 2 miles to the northwest, 1000 orbiting.
Okay, full flaps, or yeah, flaps 3. 60 knots. right a little bit. There you go. Use your feet and your ailerons. No difference in the turn here any other time. Start looking down the runway. Start looking down the runway. Close the throttle. Now just work it, work it, work it, work it, work it, work it. Get the nose up kind of where it's in your field of sight. Then feet back over onto here. Start applying the brake and bringing the yoke back as you apply. The yoke back as you apply. If we don't make this one, make the next one. Yeah.
Hanford traffic, 94 kilos, clear active runway 32, Hanford. Up. Up. Off. Flaps up. Carb heat's off. Probes are off. We can leave them on right now though, right? Landing light off. We can leave it.
Okay, either be stopped and read or put it away and taxi.
Okay. Light off, taxi light. There's it fired. Trim for takeoff. Responders on all.
Charlie is in a right-hand turn, 1,200, 2 miles northwest of field, Hanford.
So is he just announcing position because of where he is? Not setting up to land, is he?
No, they're circling over there for some reason, so he's just announcing position because he's relatively close to the airport.
Okay. Every time he's announced, it's been 2 miles northwest.
Yeah. As long as we stay inside of Grangeville Boulevard, which is a mile, a little over a mile, we should be okay. We can turn a hair short now because schools are closed.
Okay.
Part of the reason we go to Grangeville is to stay between those two schools when they're in session. I got a night flight tomorrow with one of my students, so at least when we get back here, we'll be able to see the runway lights now.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, you couldn't see them once you got into the flare. Okay. On takeoff, when the airspeed indicator gets around 50 or so, start your rotation a little bit, and the airplane will start to fly off. You're delaying us a little bit too much on the ground, and the airplane wants to fly, and you're not really letting it fly.
Hanford traffic, 94 kilo, take active runway 32 for closed traffic, Hanford.
kind of bring the nose off into that landing pitch attitude. Hold, let it sit there, then when the airplane's ready to fly, it'll just fly away.
Okay. Lights, camera.
Okay, everything's in the green. RPM's over 2300, airspeed's coming alive. Okay, now just a little back pressure in. Right there, it'll just fly away. A little harder. There you go. Trouble with their airplane is it's white. It's not very big. Now if it's coming at us, they usually run their flasher lights, so probably be the only thing or the first thing we'll see. Okay, let's start our turn now instead of later. Clear right? Clear right. Okay, level out here. Okay, here's 1300, so ease the nose over, let the airspeed come up before you bring the power back. Go ahead and trim nose down a little bit right now while you're waiting for the speed to come up. There you go. Now there's your 95, now bring the power back to 2200 RPM. Hanford traffic, Skyhawk's right downwind 32, Hanford. Okay, good. Now then, there's the dump out there. Want to be...
Kilo Charlie, 2 miles to the northwest, 1,500 right-hand turn.
Okay, so now then carb heat on. There you go. Okay, here's the end of the runway, so power back to 14, don't let the nose drop. Now flaps 1, now trim. Hold your altitude while the airplane is slowing down to 70. Once it gets here, now let it pitch down. Hold to 70, we should be at 1200 RPM. Okay. Keep yourself kind of pointed in this direction. Should be outside the intersection. Okay. Out here, we're looking for it to come down to about 1100 feet or so. Here it comes to 11. So now you're going to start your turn on base. Hold to 70 on base with just a little bit of back pressure. That's good. Relax a little bit. Hanford traffic, Skyhawk flight base 32 Hanford. There you go. Now roll out. Okay, flaps 2. We're plenty high. Now the airplane's going to settle into about 65 knots, and that's what we want. Yeah, keep the power back. We're plenty high. Little bit of an east wind here. Start your turn so we don't get blown through. There you go, don't let it dive. Good. Oh, they got a fire that they don't want. They're out there putting it out. Rudders, use your feet. Good. Plenty high, flaps 3. the power back a little bit. There you go. Should settle down now to about 60 knots. Don't push or pull. Just going to come down at 60. Now then, right now we're headed to the white boxes. Okay. As they're staying stationary in the windshield. Actually, we're a hair past them. They're coming towards us. Let the airplane come down a little bit. There you go. Now then start looking down the runway some. Relax, rework your feet. Bring the nose up. The nose wants to be about here in the top of the flare, okay? Right up in here. Okay, let's go. Right foot. Flaps are coming up. Rotate. Right foot. Set that pitch attitude at 10 degrees, nose up, and the airspeed will catch up. Hanford traffic, Skyhawk is upwind for right downwind 32 Hanford.
Degrees is the first line on the attitude indicator?
Yeah. Okay, lower your nose a little bit. You want about 73 to 75 knots. Go ahead and start your turn. So don't get out to where those guys are. Right foot. Good rudder coordination there. The airplane pivoted. That's what you wanted. Lower your nose a little bit so you can see where you're going. Get that airspeed above 70 knots. Good. Let it accelerate. As it accelerates, go ahead and give it a couple of switches of nose down trim so you don't have to keep pushing so hard. There you go. Keep pushing to keep it from climbing. Hanford traffic, Skyhawk's right downwind 32 Hanford. Okay, we saw from that fire over there, there's a little east wind. You can almost see it pushing us a little bit, so crab out just a little bit. Keep yourself away, and we're a little high here, so let's bring the power back and get back downhill.
Heat's on.
Okay, there we go. Level out here for a second. Level out, bring the nose up, level it out. Okay, there you are, power back. Flaps one. Trim. And we don't want to get any further in than this. Last two times we've been a little bit high, so having a little bit more time on base leg would help so we can burn off some altitude. Okay, start your turn. While we're turning, we're going to check the final approach corridor here. This is the easiest time to see if there's somebody coming, because once the wing gets over there, it's kind of hard to see. 70, real fine. 900 feet at the bottom of the turn, that's really good. Okay, flaps 2. Okay, now then, we're plenty high, so bring the power back a little bit even more now. There you go. Okay, start your turn to final. Use your feet. Okay, push the nose over just a little bit at 70. Okay. Come my way, you're on the left half of the runway. Come on over to the right a little bit, get yourself centered up. Okay, now start looking down the runway. Close the throttle, keep the nose coming up, keep it coming up, keep it coming up. Now just hold it right there. You're going to have to keep a little bit of back pressure in as it... Okay, whenever you're ready, let's go, nice and easy. Okay, start bringing some back pressure in, right foot. There you go. Hanford traffic, Skyhawk is upwind, 32 Hanford for right close traffic. Hanford. There he is over there in the sun, just below the sun. Seems silhouetted there. Maybe somebody broke out of that fancy new jail. They're right. They're right. Lower the nose. See, you're at 60 knots. You should be around 70. There you go. Relax. Relax that grip. Your hands are turning purple. Maybe a little bit more nose down trim. So that you don't, you let the see you're back down to 65 knots again. Lower the nose some. There's 1,300 feet. Power back a little bit. That's enough. Now let the nose come down. Let it accelerate. Bring the nose on down. Let it accelerate. Keep it out here. That's the east wind. We don't have any time on base, and that's why we're getting blown. Keep pushing. Keep the nose down. Remember, the nose pitch attitude for level flight is about here. Okay, take some of your right foot out. There you go. Now bring the power back to 2200 RPM so we don't get too fast. Keep the nose down. Trim the airplane if you're pushing. Tell me you got to trim by taking your hand off the yoke. Okay, pretty close. Keep it out here. Okay, carb heat. Okay, power back. 1400. Flaps. Keep it pointed this way. When you look over this way, you turn right. Everybody does, so you got to watch that. Okay, there's 70. Let it come downhill. There you go, good. Keep it, don't let it come in. Every time you look, you turn. Okay, now look over your shoulders. You're coming up on 1,100 feet. You should be coming up on a 45 degree to the runway. Okay, so now you need to go ahead and start your turn. Hanford traffic, Skyhawk's right base, 32 Hanford. Check on final. Okay, roll out here. Now we have some time on base. Flaps 2. Get them out. There you go. You're indicating 65, running 72, so we got about an 8 or 9 knot tailwind here. Turn. Flap 3. push the nose over. Don't let it slow down below 60. There you go. Time. We need to check, let's land. We need to check, see if the altimeter's set right. And why we're this high every damn time. Okay, you're letting the wind blow you around. Okay, bring it over here. Start looking down the runway. Okay, now start bringing the nose up a little bit. Start closing the throttle. Start bringing the nose up some more. Up, 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 up. Now the altimeter's set right. Okay, go ahead and brake. Yoke back as you brake. All the way back. Okay, good.
Hanford traffic 94 kilo clear of the active 32 Hanford. Flaps up, car off, scopes off, gonna leave them up. Taxi light, no heats off. There's full rich. Trim for takeoff. Transponders on hold.
They're right. Okay, we've been consistently a little higher every time, so air is really good today. So we're going to extend downwind. Instead of turning at 1,100 feet, let's turn at about 1050.
Okay.
Get a little bit further out.
It looked like we turned early back there.
And things showed up over the weekend, and Monday they were here putting the propeller, or the rotor blades on it, but I don't know if it's flown or not.
I think I told you about a guy who worked over there at Sequoia, Norman Stubbs. I saw something on him when they flew that C-130 up to, was it Merced, or the museum?
Oh, is that what they did with it?
I think so, yeah, because it was just a couple of days after we talked about that.
When they took it off, because I was sure sorry I didn't get to see that, because they'd been working on it all winter. Getting it back together. They took it to the Air Force Museum there, huh?
Yeah,
that's
and I saw a phone number for him. I emailed him and gave him my number, and then the other night I was busy in a meeting, and he called and left a message to give him a call sometimes. We were in high school together.
Oh, I see.
Drafting classes.
Yeah, well, it's nice it didn't turn into Coors cans.
Yeah.
That's really what I expected it to happen until I saw him actually putting it back together. I was kind of surprised.
Flaps to zero, mixture of power, carb heats off, thing to compass.
Yeah, the best place to set the compass is on the runway.
On the runway, yeah. Transponders on alt. Doors and windows are closed. Landing lights on. Scope says on. Time. Brakes released. Hanford traffic 94 kilo, taking active 32 for right closed traffic, Hanford. floor. Airspeed's alive. Power's good. A
little more right foot. Feel how that airplane's not squared up. Feel it in the seat of your pants. Okay, look, we're at 70 knots or so, 70 to 75 knots. And figure out what pitch attitude keeps it there so that you memorize what the pitch attitude is and just put it there. Yep, exactly, just like cruise. Okay, clear right.
Clear right.
There, long in there. There you go. Hanford traffic, Skyhawk's turning right downwind, 32 Hanford. Watch your altitude, bring that nose down. There's your speed.
Traffic 9 Kilo Charlie is 2 miles to the northwest, 1,200 right hand turns. Hanford.
Yeah, 1250 can be okay too. We've been a little high, so 1250 is still 1,000 feet above the airport. Okay, now, yeah, don't stare at the air runway all the time. Be looking around, following your track out here. There's the end of the runway, power back, flaps. And you're letting the nose come to the right again. There you go. Keep it out here. Keep it out there. Look at something way out there to fly to. Okay, trim it. $70, good. On downhill. Now we're going to let it lose a little bit more altitude. Okay, now start your turn. Final looks clear. Getting a hair low here actually, but we'll try it. Okay, flaps 2. Going to be just about right, really. Okay, should be at 65. We are. Go ahead and start your turn. This doesn't look bad at all. Keep the turn coming. Keep the turn coming.
I've got that east.
Okay. Lap 3. There you go, that looks good. This is a pretty good picture right here. This is better. The others have been a little too steep. Now watch your speed, keep the speed up around 60. So there you go, pitching on down a little bit. Okay, we're going to make the runway just fine. Start looking down the runway. Start bringing the nose up, start bringing it up some more. Keep bringing it up right along in there. Now just hold it there. As the speed bleeds off, you got to keep bringing the yoke back or the nose starts to settle again. Okay, let's go. Rudder on the center line. There you go. That rudder in there. Now then, set that pitch attitude. Right along in here, about 8 to 10 degrees nose up, get yourself up to 73, 75 knots. That's the best rate of climb speed. Rate of climb will come once the energy starts to get back into place. Yeah. Now then, that's a little low. Right about there is where you want it.
Hanford, California. Automated weather observation 0231 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility
All right.
sky condition clear. Temperature 24 Celsius.
Hanford traffic, Skyhawk's turning right crosswind for right downwind 32, Hanford. Yeah, pitch attitude about here, bring the power back a little more. There you go.
Heartbeat's on. Beam point. Power back to 1400. Laps 1.
Okay, now look out there. Find something to fly to and don't let it drift in. Wings level. Relax your grip a little bit. It's way too tight. There you go. Come down a little more before you start to turn. Okay, go ahead and start your turn. Have it trimmed right. You really shouldn't have to grip it very hard. It should fly itself, especially on a nice day like today. Okay, roll right on out. Roll it out. There you go. Looks pretty good. Laps 2. Final one more time. Looks good. 5 knots. Start your turn, so keep the turn coming so you don't overshoot. There you go. That's what you want. Now, see, you rolled out. You need to come a little bit past center because we got a little bit of east winds here. Okay.
Forget about that wind.
Okay, flaps 3. Out here, picture looks good, 65 knots. Let it come down, add just a touch of power. That's plenty. Headed for the second stripe past the numbers. Keep the nose coming down, keep it coming down. Look at your speed. Your speed. Okay, there you go. Now then start looking down the runway. Start closing the throttle, work your feet a little bit, bring the nose up, bring it up, bring it up, hold it right there. Relax, relax, move your hands around. There you go. Okay, too stiff. Okay, whenever you're ready, flaps are up. Keep the wings level. Taking off, you're doing kind of like this. Just keep them level. Hanford traffic, Skyhawk is on the go, upwind 32. We're right downwind 32 Hanford. Okay, this time we're going to do a landing with no flaps and no power.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then as we come in on final, we'll start with just no power to begin with. So instead of coming to 1200, we're just going to come all the way to idle. We'll fly pretty much the same pattern, not quite as big, but we'll put the flaps out at about the same place because we're already in the pattern. So it'll just be a glide to a landing instead of a little bit of a power to a landing.
Clear right?
Clear right. We'll do some no flap landings. We'll also blend those in with some forward slips a little bit later on. You'll like those because you can legally have the ball out of the cage.
Oh, okay. I'm good at that.
Yep. Hanford traffic, Skyhawk's right downwind 32 Hanford. Now then, the sun is going down, so we need what lights on?
The navigation
lights. Okay, don't let it climb. Okay, keep pushing. Push the yoke over. Push with your hands. Push with your muscle and stop it climbing. Then trim. There's your airspeed power back. Remember, you fly with your muscle first. Get the airplane under control, then trim the control pressures away. Okay, we're getting blown in a little bit, so let's come out, twist it out to the left a little. Ball in the cage. Okay, here's your, bring the nose up. Hang the nose up. Okay, all the way to idle. RP in. Out. Flaps 10. Don't turn in. Trim it for 70. Okay, so now relax a little bit. Wiggle your feet, wiggle your hands. Okay. There we go. Now then, we don't want to, since we're doing a no power approach, we don't want the airport to get away from us. So we're going to start our turn a little bit earlier than we normally do. Just to be sure, because our rate of descent is a little bit higher because we have no power. So we're coming down 150 feet a minute faster than we do normally, okay? So we're only about a minute in this whole thing here, so 150 feet can make a difference. Okay, probably want to turn in a little bit more yet. We can always shorten it up, but we can't lengthen it out. Okay, flaps 2. Hanford traffic, Skyhawk's turning final, 32 Hanford. We got a little bit of a modified pattern, 65 knots now. See, we're doing just fine. Picture looks pretty darn good. Okay, go ahead and put in flaps 3. Nose come down to hold your 60. Okay, good. Now then, start looking out, okay? Look down about 5 or 6 stripes. Now then start bringing the nose up. Start bringing it up, right foot. See now the nose is coming around, little right foot. Keep bringing it up, keep bringing it up. Keep pulling hard, hard, hard. Yeah, there you go. Okay, we're going to taxi back. So brakes, get some practice on stopping once in a while. Let's go home. I think we made some progress.
Ready?
Yep, it is.
Hanford traffic, clear runway 32 Hanford for 594 kilo. RP, it's off. Ropes off.
Yeah, they can be annoying at night.
Landing light off. Go ahead and turn it off.
Don't really need it, so sure.
Heat off. There's required trim for takeoff. Honors on halt.
Radios.